What's up, guys? I want to share a couple ideas around action and inspiration, maybe even a little bit about motivation. And see, what I used to think of how things work are that I'd be watching movies or I'd be browsing YouTube or I would wait, or maybe I'd be reading a book or listening to a book or attending a workshop or an event. And then when something would get me inspired, and it's crazy, I just got chills all the way up and down my neck when just remembering what that's like to have that moment of inspiration. And then I would go take a bunch of action and create these beautiful, amazing things. And that's great. But here's the problem with that is that if you want to be productive and be in control of where you're going in life and be a master of your destiny, that you want to be able to create those environments that inspire you. And here's what that probably means, yeah, you want to surround yourself by books and put crystals and special lights and everything. And you can totally do that. I super recommend it. But that's not what I'm talking about at all. What I'm talking about is really how inspiration, where does it truly come from? See, when I'm doing the act of looking on YouTube for specific things that might inspire me, when I'm reading a book, when I fly and invest my time and money to go somewhere and I go to a live event somewhere or a mastermind, or I fly people out to my house here, we mastermind here, whatever it is, that is taking action. And all those moments of inspiration are they're following the preceding actions that led up to that. So here's how it really works, is that you shouldn't wait around waiting for action, for inspiration. You need to take the action first. Because how it works is that inspiration almost never precedes action. Wait, I've said this hundreds of times and now the words are all jumbled. That's hilarious. Great, I'm on a video and I'm screwing up my own, the quote. So how it works is that inspiration almost always follows action. So you take the action, inspiration almost always follows that. It seldom precedes that. So if you have action right here, action almost always precedes the inspiration. Or that is true what I just said. I said it right the middle time there. So you totally, and I'm not going to redo this whole video, but here's what it means. You need to get good at taking action on things because that's what will inspire you. And a really good example is that yesterday I got this idea of I'm going to create this 30-day video challenge. I got the idea from one of my friends who's basically doing this exact same thing. And as I was thinking of what to do for my day one video, because I totally wanted to take part of this, that I was like, dude, I'm going to do a version of this, but I'm going to send it I'm going to email it to my email list. I'm going to put it on Facebook in my private groups and my fan page and everywhere. And I'm going to create this into this fun experience. And in the middle of that, I then became inspired to dude, this can make me learn this tool called MiniChat. And so all these things followed, these inspirations came after I took the action, after I had committed to, I'm going to go do this thing. And it's really funny what really happened. I shot this super long video explaining my day one video challenge. Then I was like, wait, that's I need this other video for these other audiences. And then I needed yet another video for other audiences. And so I did the videos basically backwards. And I didn't know I needed those at all, but that's because the inspiration for those better done videos that lead up to the other ones, I was not inspired to do those till I took the action first. That's one small example. There's actually a really good book. So you've probably heard of right here, The War of Art. That's a super famous book, but that's not the book I'm talking about. Instead of The War of Art, it's called I'm flipping. This is hilarious. This is the craziest video. I can't speak the things I'm trying to say here. this is the art of war, right? And I don't know if I just said that backwards or not, but that's because the book I really want to tell you about is The War of Art. I can't even point to the letters correctly. So the book that really goes into this more is The War of Art. And here's what's at the essence of it, is that if you want to create things, whether you're writing a book, whether you're creating something online, whether it's a funnel or an entire huge 8 or 9 figure empire or whatever you're doing, that you don't sit around waiting to be inspired. You literally need to dive in there and start doing the work every single day. And in fact, I remember it very vividly from the book, The War of Art, is there. It was this really famous writer. I actually forgot which author it was. I literally forgot. Like, we would all know him. I forgot the guy's name, but they talked about how every morning he goes and he has a certain like number of hours that he writes for, and it doesn't matter how he feels. It doesn't matter if he's inspired. And the vast majority of the time, he does not want to freaking write. He totally doesn't want to sit down and do it. Yet it's like Stephen King or someone like uber famous like that. And so, and when you really start to study this stuff, that's really how it all works. And it's how everything works for me. And so if you ever, like, I've had so many people ask me over the years, like, dude, you seem so excited and inspired. Like, how do you stay so excited and fired up? And a lot of it's because I jumped off the cliff and you're watching me build the plane or like learn how to fly on the way down. And I just took the action. I'm like, oh my God, I better figure this out or I'm just going to splatter on the ground. And that's like taking such like my default more often than not is to take the action and then figure out the stuff as I'm going. And that's not to say there's not room for strategy. Like, that's one of my weaknesses, is like to create more strategy behind things. So like the videos yesterday, I ended up doing them backwards. I thought I needed one. I could have did it in probably like 2 videos, but it just turned out to be 3. And like number 3 goes to number 2, goes to number 1. They're like in backwards order from how I originally did it. That's because I didn't take a lot of strategy to plan that, because I didn't want to lose. Like, I just wanted to start taking action to gain the inspiration. And then what happened from that, I was so excited last night and I got all these videos out there and there was like no response. And I was like, well, at least I'm going to be learning stuff and I'm going to be learning that new tool on this journey and everything. And then what happened, I got a message or 2 late last night from just like some of my friends. They were different random people on Facebook and they were like, dude, this is really cool. I'm excited to check the rest of this out. And I had forgot there's basically like close to an hour of it. Actually, there is an hour and 10 minutes worth of videos to like explain the whole thing and give them ideas on what to do and how to do the videos and like how to not get lost on what you're going to share. And obviously I didn't give them the lessons on how to not mix up all your words and say things wrong and just keep going anyway. Actually, I did give them that lesson to like, there is no perfectionism. But here's what was really freaking cool. Inspiration hit big time this morning. And here's what I mean by that. So I go to bed last night. I'm like, that's cool. Like, a couple people might plug in. This will be awesome. And maybe more will plug in over time. Who knows? Maybe I'll even run ads to that thing one day, this like 30-day video challenge thing. And so I get up this morning and I have some message. I'm using this new tool that basically auto messages people and they give me permission to do that. And then it like sends them messages on its own that I've already pre-planned. And so what's really cool about that, I don't really know how it works at all. So I get up this morning, I have some weird, actually I had an email that I noticed that was super weird from the tool, and it said something about new subscribers. And I also had a bunch of comments on Facebook. I actually had a bunch of comments and a bunch of messages, but I hadn't seen those quite yet. I saw the email thing, I'm like, this is weird. And as of yesterday, there was 2 subscribers on my little tool for Facebook. It was some random thing that it gave me right when I first started. And it's like a robot or something. I just deleted that one and then myself. And then, so this morning I open up that email and it says I honestly forgot. It was like 12, 15, 17 something subscribers. And Dude, I can feel it right now. It was an amazing moment of inspiration early this morning. Well, I don't check email first thing, so it wasn't that early. But when I saw this, it was hugely inspiring. But here, think about how I started the video. That inspiration almost always precedes action. It's seldom, inspiration almost always follows action. It seldom precedes it. And so what happened was I took so much action yesterday. I hadn't even planned to do that at all. I had other completely different things planned. I ended up spending hours yesterday learning that tool, putting all these messages in, shooting 3 separate videos, uploading the videos. I had to edit one of them and re-render it, which that whole process, that took, I mean, the editing was relatively short, but there was an audio mess up. Like, it was crazy. I jumped through all these hoops, literally spent 4, 5, 6+ hours yesterday doing all that. And that's not even the time of like uploading where like I click upload and I leave the computer. I don't count that time. And so I'm explaining all this because I took a ton of action yesterday. And even though it wasn't planned, I wake up this morning to massive inspiration, massive motivation and inspiration that was like given to me, that was not planned when I was going to bed last night. That's driven me so much and I was so excited all through today. So here's the whole point of this super long video, and I already shared it in the first few moments, but I wanted to give you some real life examples so you can realize, like, dude, here's some real things happening. And I'm just pulling things out of the last 24 hours. We could look at hundreds and thousands of examples from many of our lives. And if you really look at when you've been the most inspired in your life, it's because you've taken a bunch of action in some area. So here's really what this means to you. And here's what the message I really wanted to get out to you and to the world, and a reminder to myself, because everything we say, our unconscious mind is listening. So this video is just as much for me as it is for you as well. It's a gift and a reminder and a blessing that we can all be grateful for taking the action, even if we don't feel like it, because that's how inspiration follows taking the action. And there's a really cool quote. I believe it's from Marcus Aurelius, and it is, "Do the thing and you shall have the power." It actually might be from Ralph Waldo Emerson. Actually it is. I'm pretty sure it's from Emerson. I forgot the quote from Aurelius, but I think it's related. Maybe he has the commitment quote, which is very similar. Different topic though. I'm not getting off topic here. So do the thing and you shall have the power. What he's talking about, so what Emerson was talking about is that the power being the inspiration, where you get up in the morning, you get some email, you're like, oh my God, look at this, 17 sales. I just made $17,000. I made $170,000. I made $170, whatever they are. I got 17 new leads. I got 70, actually they were leads as well. I got whatever that message, however it looks, whether it's 1 or freaking 70,000, whatever your number looks like, that power comes from doing the thing, taking the action. That power is the inspiration. So do the thing and you shall have the power, which is take the action and you shall have the inspiration. And here's what's beautiful around it. The inspiration then, use that to get yourself into momentum, and it's just this big circle. It goes right back around to take even more action and to keep going even more. And then that more inspiration comes out of that additional action that you take. So that is today's craziest thing, just through guru nugget. It's your nugget of wisdom. It's your golden nugget. It's whatever you want to call it. Doesn't matter, but here's how it works. Do the thing, you shall have the power. That inspiration almost always precedes taking action. It seldom follows it. So don't sit around waiting to be inspired. Don't wait till you feel like it. It doesn't matter what's happening, that you just go take action and watch the magic and the inspiration and the power continue to unfold. And as you become an even more person of taking more and more action, your whole life will become a more and more inspired, and you'll keep spiraling up, and you'll be this huge amount of inspiration for yourself and your entire sphere of influence all around you. So, guys, love you, appreciate you for being here, grateful to be on this journey called life. This isn't about a 30-day challenge. It's not even about action and inspiration. This is about becoming the best version of yourself in this thing called life, so that we don't go to the richest place in the world called the graveyard and write the same story as 95 to 98% of the rest of the world and be, I wish, I regret, I should have done, shoulda, woulda, coulda. We don't need that written on our gravestones when it's our time to be there. What we need is this legacy of amazing adventures and things that we've left behind for everybody in our sphere of influence, and for the movement ahead of humanity, for the advancement of humanity, for the conscious collectiveness to make things even better than they already are. And it all starts with you right now taking action on whatever it is you need to take action on, and just watch the inspiration flow. It may not come immediately. Sometimes it's right away. Sometimes it may take hours. Like for me, yesterday it took 12, 18 something hours or something like that. It may have taken me days or weeks. But as long as I continue to take action, you get more hits of these inspirations in minutes and days and weeks and months, and they're all compiling more and more. And I'll have things happening later today and tomorrow that were set from action months and years ago, just like you're doing the same as we become more aware of this. So guys, go get it, take even more action, and watch all the magic unfold from there. Take care, do the thing, and you shall have the power, my friend.